I sing of a wow. Disappointment, disappointment. What have I just watched? Effort upon effort upon effort upon emotional investment upon financial invested after all the hard work. Miss Universe has proven to disappoint us once again. Why do we keep giving ourselves to this terrible organization? You keep spitting in our face, you keep slapping us in the face until you prove that it's rigged. A rigged cooking show. Every hard work thrown through the window. I'm tired, I am tired, I am tired of being taken for a fool. Paul Rochas, you take us for an idiot. Guys, I've decided to do the review. Hey, it's not easy for me to sit here, but I have to do the review and I have to also come up with the further updates because this is just the beginning of Pandora's box. It just keeps unfolding. Now, if you're here for the very first time, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You better like because the singing that I was busting down for you guys, I did it for you guys. I know that I'm not Mariah Carey, but I've tried. So please, you better give your girl a like. Please like this video. Now, I didn't want to do this review. Y'all know what the deal was. Yeah, I put the poll out. Majority rules. 60% still wanted to see the review. I said, you know what? It's not a problem. I promise to keep it brief. Usually I'll go detail by detail, but it wasn't easy. And I had to go off some of the live stream videos that were shown. Because you know what? Miss Universe still wants to collect your money. Upon duping and scamming people, they still want to collect subscribers fee for the bloody show. So, you know what? Some of the streamers that were able to do it, they managed to do it as soon as it got off due to copyright strike. So I have to commend you guys. Now, they opened the show. I will say that this stage is far better than last year in Mexico. Mexico's stage was a hot, stinking mess. It was a mess. But this Thailand one, it was nice. The ladies looked well. They were coordinated. They looked good. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty. They had to announce the top 30. Top 30. China, I expected it. China was an underdog. I said people are overlooking her. But I did say that she was one of the best in the Asian category. So I actually predicted that she would be in the top 30. So I was right. Thailand, it was obvious. You know, host nation. I mean, she also did well. So Thailand, I expected it. Brazil too. She was named in my top 30. As you people can see in my previous video, if you don't believe me, check my previous video where I announced it. That one, I believed it. Rwanda was kind of a shock. For the African region, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't call her for the top 30. I did commend her that she's a 42-year-old woman who has children. And she tried, you know, her body was looking good. And she carried herself very, very well. So I did compliment her on that. Now, her placement was quite a shock. It was a shock, but I heard that she did well behind the closed door interview. She's also a presenter in real life, so I believe she's a very, very good speaker. And also what she went through via the Rwanda genocide era. So I think she has an inspirational story. So hence kind of why they also put her through. So even congratulations still to Rwanda, even though I didn't put her in that top 30, you know. For African region, I at least put DRC, Congo, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Cote d'Ivoire. Those were the obvious ones, you know, that I put for the top 30. I even personally wanted Equatorial Guinea to go through. But yeah, but that was that for that one. Then we have Colombia. Colombia, I saw it coming. Dominican Republic. Those are the obvious Latin countries that usually place. So those ones, I named them in my prediction. Bangladesh, I didn't put her in my prediction, but I kind of almost expected it, if that made sense. When I was reviewing previous shows, I did say Bangladesh was quite good. It's just I was 50-50 on her. But yeah, that was a well-deserved one. Cuba was predicted. Japan too was predicted. I said it was either between Japan or South Korea, one of those ones. And I was right. It was at least Japan. So I did that one right. Puerto Rico, yes, I called her in my prediction. She was amazing. She did very well. Netherlands too, I said that she deserved the placement for the European region. She was also an underdog, but she really did well. So Netherlands won. To be honest, I'm not surprised. I called it out. USA, I did not expect that one, and no offense, I think there were other better countries that deserved better placement than USA. I'm not gonna lie, but USA is always gonna be USA. It seems like that's the country that will always get the placement when it comes to Miss Universe. I don't think USA was really the best. I'm not gonna lie. India, I expected it. She was also a good, strong contender for the Asian region. I think she was quite good. I've always gave her the best score when it came to my review. So that one, she did well, and I called her in the top 30. Mexico, the controversial winner, I actually called her in that top 30. And not because it was due to her performance, but because it's, first of all, it's Mexico. Some countries, just like USA, by default, they'll go through to the top, they'll have a placement. On top of that, Mexico, come on now, Paul Rochas, he's Mexican, the owner, they'll always make place for them. Like last year, the Mexican contender, she didn't even deserve to be in that top 5, but they still put her in there. So I've said that I actually put Mexico in the top 30 because I just saw it coming, not because of performance wise. So Mexico, yes, I called that one. Philippines, I called that one too. Atisha Manalo, she's amazing, strong. Zimbabwe, I called it. I said it's either between Zimbabwe and Zambia, and I was right. It was Zimbabwe. So congratulations to that one. Costa Rica, I didn't call that one. But she's quite good. I just didn't call that one. To be honest, my list that I didn't call the full top 30. So some countries won't make it through. Malta, I called it. I said she's also a strong one for Europe. So I was right. Croatia, I didn't expect that one. Canada, I think Canada, like I said, Canada, I didn't expect the placement. There were still other better countries that could have taken Canada's place. I'm just being honest. So that's my issue with Canada. Chile, I didn't call that one, but I think she's quite good. Guatemala too, I think I was 50-50 on her, but you know what, she plays, she's good. Palestine placed, I didn't call that one. Again, there were better countries that could have placed than Palestine. I'm just being honest. Yeah, I'm just being honest. I just feel for some countries, I'm not sure if they get sympathy votes, but it is what it is. Then we get, or maybe behind the interviews too, she had an inspirational story because it's Palestine and all that, so they let her through. I don't think she was such a strong contender. I'm sorry. Nicaragua, I didn't call that one, but I was like, okay, I think she's quite good. France, I expected that one. Also strong contender. She was good for European region. So definitely. Paraguay, I didn't call that one. Miss Universe Latina, I did call that one. She has been outstanding and she's been doing very well. So that one, I expected it. Venezuela, also, yep. Guadeloupe, yep. And then Cote d'Ivoire too. Yes, that one we called it. So those ones. So to be honest, I had a majority right. Majority I had right. I think it was just roughly 6 or 7 that I didn't call. Yeah, but I think I did right. And for the rest, all those ones. Now the countries that I expected to place that didn't have a placement is definitely Turks and Caicos. I'm not sure what the organizers were thinking that they didn't place this amazing, stunning, beautiful woman, Turks and Caicos. Are you kidding me? They didn't place Turks and Caicos at all. Hell, they didn't even place Indonesia. They could have placed Indonesia at least. Turks and Caicos, Indonesia, even Cambodia too. Cambodia. Those were really my standout countries that deserve high placements. You know, there were some countries I also wanted them to place, but I knew they probably didn't stand a chance. And as usual, Africa, they do us dirty. You know, a whole continent, and there were many outstanding African delegates this year. Outstanding ones that gave their all, and just 3 placements. Damn, at least give us 5 placements. You know, I felt like at least, even though Congo didn't really carry that much confidence, Congo and Nigeria's one, they're almost similar. I felt that they tried their best. They gave it all, their all. They just needed a bit more push in their performance. So for those ones, if they put a little bit more push, I think one of them could have placed. So for me, it was between Congo and Nigeria, and there's Zambia too. You know, Zambia, even Namibia. You know, at least those were my strong ones for the African region. But yeah, Turks and Caicos one really hurt me. Oh. It really, really hurt me. So Turks and Caicos, Cambodia, Indonesia, you know, and then this one. So they didn't get placements. It is what it is. Now let's move on to the bikini round, because the top 30, they had to strut themselves for the bikini round. And the ones that stood out to me when it came to the bikini round, the ones that really did well, I'll say is China, Colombia, Ivory Coast, Dominican Republic, Philippines, Guadeloupe, India, Miss Universe Latina, Venezuela, and Puerto Rico. Those ones were my standouts for the swimsuit round. These ladies, they strut, they walked, they had good presentation, they just stood out to me, you know. And for me, the top 3 in that stand out again for the swimsuit was definitely Ivory Coast, Philippines, and then Venezuela. Those ones were the super standouts. But this is my list for the swimsuit. So I'll say Brazil, even though Brazil did a lot of wiggling, but she still did well. Brazil, China, Colombia, Ivory Coast, Dominican Republic, Philippines, France, Guadeloupe, India, Miss Universe Latina, and Venezuela. So, and Puerto Rico. Yeah, those ones were the ones that stood out to me. Now let's announce our top 12. So in our top 12, we have Mexico, Thailand, Venezuela, Philippines, Cote d'Ivoire, Chile, China, Colombia, Cuba, Guadeloupe, Malta, Puerto Rico. This top 12 was it was a very tough top 12. I'm not gonna lie. It was a really tough top 12. But I'll say that the top 12, there were just a few countries that I did not agree that had to be in that top 12. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. When it comes to, I think all countries were good in that top 12. I felt like, well, the obvious one is Mexico. I'm just being honest. Mexico didn't deserve to make it beyond even top 30. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, and this has nothing to do with Fatima. I have nothing against her on a personal level, but I'm talking about performance wise. You know, there were stronger contenders in that top 30 that definitely deserve to be in there. And for me, that one was definitely not one of them to be there. I think France could have definitely picked in that top 12, and even India too. France and India, they could have definitely taken a spot in that top 12. Even Netherlands too, you know, so I was quite shocked. But yeah, that was our top 12. So now let's get to the, I think it's the evening gown for the top 12. And then I'll call you my favorite ones, or I can just go through it and then let you know. Okay, so let's get to the evening gown. Chile's evening gown, I like it. It's hand beaded. From afar, it looks like it's nothing, but the close-up and the detail on that dress is outstanding. I like the ombre effect with the blue. I love the pink color. It's actually a nice one. I'll give Chile's evening gown an 8. Because the way it's crafted very well, it's not your typical silver type of gown, you know, the usual one. So to be honest, Chile's one, I will say she had a strong gown, 8. So 8 she will get from me. Then we have Colombia's gown. Colombia's gown, I've seen it so many times. I've seen this type of fabric so many times. She's just lucky that she has a beautiful body and she carried that outfit very well. But I'll give it a 6 because I've seen that type of style so many times. A 6. So then we have Cuba. Cuba looks really amazing. She looks stunning. Let me see. Cuba looks stunning. She looks like a real queen. Hers, I'll give it an 8. I'll give Cuba an 8. Her hairdo is amazing. Guadalupe looks stunning. Guadalupe is stunning. And I'll give Guadalupe a 9. I love it. I love the hair. I love the look. I love the makeup. She's a super standout. Guadalupe deserves a 9. Then we have Mexico's dress, also unique. It looks like one of those bull riders. I think it's a traditional Mexican dress. I'll give her that. I'll give her that. It looks very traditional. It's different. I like the style on it. Long sleeve. I'll give next one will be a 7. Yes. Then we have Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, I've seen this style before just because it has the arm, you know, the attachment on it. I've seen it. I'll give it a 7. Then we have Venezuela. Venezuela's one looks amazing. It looks stunning. It looks mwah. It looks mwah. I'll give Venezuela's one a 9. She carries it very, very well. Venezuela's one will get a 9 for me. China's one looks nice, but I've seen this style so many times. So I'll give China's one a 7. A 7. Yeah, she looks nice. And then we have the Philippines. Philippines, Aitisa Manalo. I love this type of dress, even though it's a silver style, but I like the type of attachment they put on it. It's very unique. It's very stylish. I'll give Atisha a 9. 999. Amazing. Then we have Thailand. Thailand's dress is cute, but it's a bit underwhelming. So I'll give Thailand's one a 7. I'll give Thailand's one a 7. Then we have Malta. Malta's one is cute. I like it. Malta's one will get an... Malta's one will get an 8. Then we have Cote d'Ivoire. Ooh la la. Cote d'Ivoire's one looks nice on her skin. And let me tell you something. You know, usually I'm not a fan of these type of silver dresses, yeah. But I will say that the style of Cote d'Ivoire's one was outstanding. It looked good on her skin because it's not everybody that can rock it the way she did it. One thing about Cote d'Ivoire, she'll pick some dresses where you think, I'm not such a fan of it, but it's the way she carries it. It's the energy that she has, that she just makes something looks good automatically. You know, you see some dresses, they look nice, you can wear it, you still be like, oh, okay, it just looks simple. But she's a shining star. She makes that dress pop. And it was outstanding. And I'll give Cote d'Ivoire's one a 9 too. It's difficult for me to give 10. Yeah. Now they have to call the top 5. And we all know who the top 5 is. So the top 5 is none other than Mexico, Thailand, Venezuela, Philippines, and Cote d'Ivoire. That's our top 5. So I said, okay, y'all know who the top 5 is, and we all know it. Now we'll get to the Q&A. So now we get to the Q&A, yeah? And the first up, of course, is Thailand. And they ask her that if you become Miss Universe and you were given the chance to speak in front of the United Nations Assembly, what global issue would you like to talk about and why? So she said, if I were to speak in front of the United Nations Assembly, like I said, it's taking more time. You can just go straight to the point. I will choose women equality because I believe that all of us deserve respect, kindness, and same equality as other genders. Okay. And we deserve the same respect in workplace as well as the same home. And I encourage you all to speak for your voice, raise your voice for women equality. Okay, that answer was a bit lukewarm. I understand that women equality is one of the things that we've been fighting for so many years. We've made quite an advancement compared to in the past, because it was worse in the past. But we're also talking about current issues. You know, especially when it comes to, we're speaking about United Nations, something that's a global issue. Global issue can be economical, employment. The economy is the economy is having an effect everywhere in the world, and when it comes to working conditions, she could have spoken a lot about other things. She could have spoken about child labor, things that has been going on, when it comes to mass production, and how they have people working in sweatshops for as little as nothing, and they use, let's just say, they use sometimes Africa and Asia as a dumping ground, which is not good even for the environment, or even just any kind of unfair type of labor, which is being exploited. Now the women's one, we know it, but we've heard it so many times, especially if I'm going to the United Nations to speak about something that's global, something that has been an issue for so long. It's to talk about how even farmers are being cheated by these big companies. They source things at a very low amount, low peanuts, whereas when it comes to obtaining the raw material from all these countries, they put in so much effort for nothing, as small as nothing. So we have to look at price regulation and also how to affect things. So my thing more would have been more economically, and also when it comes to labor, and any kind of unfair treatment. Sometimes you have to delve a bit deeper, go into something that makes you stand out. Not, this answer is a bit lazy, Thailand. It is a bit of a lazy answer. Not to say that women equality is not there, but it's something that we've been talking about it as frequent as possible. At least something is being done about it. There are many women organizations, women empowerment organization that is doing something. They're doing something about it. So it's almost a bit saturated. It's something that's being worked on. But the things that I've called, it's not something that many people are really talking about. So you need to say something that makes you stand out. So for me, the answer out of Thailand, I'll say it's out of 10, I'll give that answer a 5. It's an underwhelming answer. So then we get to Philippines. As a global ambassador, what will your contribution to humanity be? And she said, I want to be the hope of people. And I come from a very poor background. Damn, I didn't even know that. I started pageants at 10 years old to put myself through to school and to lift my family out of poverty. Wow. And if there's anything that I want to show the universe, I'm here right now. I'm standing as Miss Universe because I was able to get myself out of any situation, because I was hardworking, I was persistent, and I fight for what I want. Thank you. And you know what? Miss Manalo, Atisha Manalo, she gave a good answer. She used herself as an example. She used herself as somebody that can make an impact. She used herself as somebody that people can look up to. That your situation does not define who you are. Your circumstances does not define who you are. Instead of her sitting down and sulking, she went up to do the work. She went up to do something, to make an impact, and to continue to make an impact. So for me, Atisha Manalo's answer is a strong one. It is a strong one. She spoke about her humble beginning. It's not just all about giving answer just because you're giving answer for giving answer's sake. Like I said in Miss Thailand's case, she just gave like a textbook answer. We need something that's a bit relatable, and we need something that's also happening in actuality. So for me, Miss Philippines, she had a good answer. She had a good answer. I'll give Miss Philippines' answer even a 9 out of 10. Now let's go to the next one, Miss Venezuela. In a world where cultural differences can separate people, how would you use your platform to promote empathy and understanding between different cultures? Answer, I thank God that I have been given the opportunity to live in different continents of this world. So I had a broad view of the different cultures and an understanding of how to have empathy with people, how to communicate, how to break those barriers of languages. I believe that this platform gives us access to every corner of the world, and it teaches us as women with voice and being a role model, it's our future, the children, the elder, and people that see us, that hear us, and we depend on making it. Now her answer is a bit on the 50-50 side. I get where she's coming from. And I like that she started, her first sentence was strong. I will say that. So she did speak about her having experience living in other countries in the world. But then it stopped there. I felt like maybe she could have just said that the world is like a museum. You know, you have different type of people, different type of cultures, different type of traditions, you know, different type of skin colors, no matter where you're coming from. And that's the beauty of humanity. That's the beauty of the world. That's the beauty when it comes to cultures. Yeah. And I think that everybody, the world needs to be more open-minded to each other's cultures. Try each other things. Try each other's food. Try to learn about everybody's culture and put your biases to the side. And when we can learn about how other countries do their things, or when it comes to their cultures, we turn to have a more appreciation when it comes to that. We tend to we can tend to unite despite our cultural differences, and at the end of the day we treat others how we would like to be treated. That is when it comes to empathy. But her answer was okay. It was lukewarm, but it was okay. I will give Venezuela's answer, I'll give it at least a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10. She tried. Then we have Miss Mexico, Fatima. So they ask her, in your perspective, what are the challenges of being a woman in 2025, and how would you use the title of Miss Universe to create a safe space for women around the world? She said, as a woman and as Miss Universe, I will put my voice and power in the service of others, because nowadays we are here to speak up, to make change, and have everything, because we are women, and the brave ones that stand up are the ones that will make history. I wish you could have delved a bit deeper in this type of answer. You need to come up with a more powerful answer, you know. Yes, you have the title of Miss Universe. What space would you create for them? You know, yes, you said you would use your voice and power in the surface of others, because nowadays we're here to speak up. Aside from speaking up, we need action. We need to put policies in place that protect women. That's what I will say, you know, policies that will protect women, create safe space, eradicate stigma. Because sometimes women feel that, listen, I'll speak out, but nobody will listen to me. So we need to be promoting it more. We need to come out with more PSAs, yeah? And also policies in place to enhance policies to protect women everywhere. It doesn't matter when it comes to the work field, when it comes to anything that's their personal life, but things like that. And then women, we should also come together. The policies would have to be revisited, and it's something that we would not have to discuss once, but it should be spoken about many times. So I would use my voice and I would use my platform when it comes to these things, to ensure that these things would be followed up, and that women should no longer feel scared, or they should no longer feel like, oh my god, there's a stigma, things like that. And I will also revise when it comes to women pay, when it comes to equality payment. Yeah, when it comes to gender payment, because we know that usually the male counterpart is paid a bit more compared to their female counterpart. It's not something that will happen within a day, but it is something that we will have to work on, you know. So when it comes to equality in payment, equality in treatment, that is something that we have to follow up and come up with policies. I felt she could have delved deeper into it. The answer was very weak. It was the weakest out of the bunch. It was the weakest out of the bunch. You know, that answer just gave like, listen, I know what the deal is. I'm just going to say this, that. I don't even need to put a lot of effort in it. That answer was very weak. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Then we have Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire's one was education today focuses on knowledge, but not always on emotional skills. What emotional skills do you think should be taught to every child in school, and why? Now the answer is, well, as a woman who has a foundation on education, I think it's important that we teach young girls to love themselves. That is my slogan, is assume your identity. Because if you love yourself, if you have confidence, you can walk into this world and you can shine. So I will urge every young man and woman to love yourself first. Be who you want to be and shine. And thank you so much. Yes. And also they said if you win the Miss Universe tonight, and also if you win Miss Universe tonight, yeah, and also they said if you win Miss Universe tonight, damn, I forgot to even this thing. If you win Miss Universe tonight, how will you use this platform to empower young girls? She said, as an ambassador and as Miss Universe, I would want to be the face of representation of a new generation that mixes culture and mixes modern and traditional. I want to be the face of a new era of women that are bold, that are leaders, that are unapologetically about who they are. If I'm Miss Universe, I want to be a role model for all young girls and let them know that you too can make it. Go into rooms where you think you don't belong. Shine and make sure you assume your identity. The strongest answer ever. She said, listen, don't feel small. Don't feel like, damn, I'm too big, I cannot make it there. Don't feel that, oh, you're a bit too darker, you cannot make it there. Don't feel like, oh my God, you're too pale, you cannot make it there. Regardless of who you are, you have to believe yourself, instill confidence. Her answer was the best ever, and it touched my soul. Now, Miss Mexico too, if you win the title tonight, how would you? As Miss Universe, I will say to them, believe in the power of your authenticity, believe in yourself, your dreams matter, your heart matter, and never let anybody bring you down. Again, not so, yeah, no, that one was the weakest. I think Philippines one, I work with an organization and where we work with so many people gave answer, but yeah, this was the one so far. Now when they had to call the winners, they had to make the announcement. Y'all know that the moment they said Yase, Olivia Yase was on the 5th place, I said, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Olivia Yase, 5th place. Then Miss Philippines, 4th place. Miss Venezuela, 3rd place. Thailand, 1st runner-up. And then Miss Mexico. An absolute joke. An absolute joke. The biggest joke of the century. I didn't think it would have been worse than what I've experienced last year. Yeah. I did not think it was going to be worse. And even at that, still, Chidima was still 1st runner-up. Victoria Kiaher, she won. Victoria was at least a bit better. That one, she gave a stronger Q&A at least. With this one, yo, listen, if they said that they wanted Thailand and Mexico, because we know the ties now, you know, former owner was Thai, and then we have Raul, who is the owner, Mexico. Yeah, it was between them. They could have just left everybody out of the group chat. Yeah, they could have just said, listen, nobody needs to participate, don't waste your time, it's just going to be the competition between these two countries. It's okay, leave us out of it. Yeah, because let me tell you now, y'all have wasted everybody's time. Y'all have wasted everybody's energy. Miss Jamaica, she already was struggling with the hurricane issues in her country. She came late. She already struggled. And then she fell down on your stage. What people went through. People have paid over $10,000 to be part of this competition. They spent big bucks. They spent big money on their costumes, on their stylists, on their team, on their time, on everything. Just to be there. They woke up from 3 a.m. Some could not even sleep because of the pressure. These past, how many days is it now? These past 20 days. Waking up early, participating in this program, going here, going there, going there. Waking up early in the morning, practicing for the interview, practicing for bikini walk, practicing for the gala. It takes a mental strain. At least the best thing y'all could do is just to be fair. That's it. Just to be fair. But y'all knew who y'all wanted your winner to be. And then now I'm starting to think that this whole thing with the Nawat thing and everything whatsoever with the Mexico, I'm thinking three parts of it. First of all, I'm thinking, was that staged for publicity? But I know now what. Now what, he can be quite reactive. And one thing he doesn't like is he doesn't like shame. So he unfortunately he's the type of person what you see is what you get. He's very, very unprofessional, and he's very emotional, and he didn't deserve to talk to Mexico like that. That's one thing. Now, second thing, I'm thinking that did Mexico feel too entitled, because she felt like, listen, I already have this in the bag. I don't even have to be promoting Thailand and all that stuff. You know, the only mistake was that Mr. Nawat called her out loud in front of everybody instead of settling it with her management team behind the scenes. Yeah, so I'm not sure what has been going on, but they had a clear winner. Now, the judges for the show, yeah, the judges who were supposed to be there for the show, two essential judges, they dropped out last minute. They said, y'all already made this selection without us, without our knowledge. What the hell is going on? One of the judge, I think it's Ishmael, he's starting to expose them. They said, listen, we up out of here. Because no, you are rigging the votes. And up till now, audit, they still didn't come with results. So still didn't come with results. I knew something was wrong when they put Olivia on the 5th place. When they put Olivia on the 5th place, I said, deuces. Them, at least you could have made it a bit more realistic. I don't even think it would have been so painful. I wanted Olivia to win. But if the result was, for example, that, okay, Philippines won, Olivia was first runner-up. I'm just calling out that scenario. We could have been like, you know what, okay, you know what, it was kind of a fair sport. We can accept it. But somebody who didn't even have to go beyond top 30. I only called her for top 30 because I knew that, listen, it's Mexico. At the end of the day, they have a share in this competition. They'll find a way to get. That's where I came from. Somebody who didn't even have to go beyond the top 30 made it as a winner. There were even people who didn't place, who were even far better. And you tell me that's the person who won. It has nothing to do with sympathy. It has nothing to do with, oh, she stood up for herself. She's a hero because Miss Anawat, this thing. I'm not going to be doing sympathy votes. I don't do that. Yes, way Nawat spoke to her was incorrect and she stood up for herself. I will give her that. But that's not what Miss Universe is about. Miss Universe is about performances and everything. It didn't make sense at all. The whole thing didn't make sense. Now, I think, I'm not sure if I have to do a next video, but I'll still talk about it. Many things are unraveling. The following day, they had to call out the prices. They had a press conference. They had to call out the prices, the accolades, and then also the Continental Queens, yeah. Continental Queens, Cote d'Ivoire, they called her for the African Continental Queens. Malta for Europe, China for Asia. I agreed with that one, yeah. Olivia, she was, of course, matured enough to attend and accept it. There was still a lot going on, you know. She had to process a lot of things. And then following morning, you know, it's your duty. You still have to be there. But as she probably went back, she heard a lot of the reviews, a lot of things that were going on. People were really protesting there. This was quite a disgrace. The whole audience, everybody was pissed at the result. You couldn't make it up. You could not make it up. Olivia had to let go of her sash. She had to cut ties with the Miss Universe organization. And she said, listen, I ain't gonna do this anymore. I ain't gonna do this anymore, and I stand for somebody with values. And again, this does not align with my values. And I agree with what she did. And I think it is amazing what she did, because they keep doing African countries dirty. How many times will we win? We're tired. We get placement. We should always, it's like our highest score that we should always be grateful for is bloody placements. It's bloody, bloody, bloody placements. That's our highest score that we should always be grateful for, throwing us crumbs. And she said, listen, I'm not going to accept this anymore. For somebody who has worked 10 times harder than somebody else, for somebody who performed mediocre at best, Now, she said, listen, I'm going to stand up for what's right. And then this was shared and everybody was agreeing with it. Now, Rochas, they interviewed him and this just gets worse because my man is digging himself in a deeper hole. He said if you Google Cote d'Ivoire, check how many visas they need. And I said, oh, okay, so that's what it's about. Check how many visas they need and all that stuff. We're not going to go through that struggle and be hustling and struggling, and we'll be traveling around and all that stuff. And I'm like, sir, you're just now explaining that, listen, you're not going to get any African country to ever win your show. Because you've made it clear. You're now discriminating based on passport. Yeah, you're discriminating based on passport. First of all, even in Olivia's case, Olivia, she's a diplomat's daughter. So she already has a diplomatic passport. She has an American passport. So it's even easier for that. You didn't research this. And if you felt like you had an issue with countries that had challenging passports, why the hell are you accepting their submissions? Why are you accepting their money? You know that they're not going to win. You're collecting their money and giving them false hope. And for me, I will say that if this is the case, Africa should just pull out of Miss Universe. I'm not gonna lie. Every African country that's still sending the representative, this one is on you. Oh. This one is on you. Because the man has clearly said that he's not going to get any African winner under his management. Due to passport discrimination. It makes no sense. Then don't collect my money. Yeah? All the bullshit that you guys have been doing just to travel around. This is what I meant when I said last year. They've cheapened the brand. They have cheapened this brand. Miss Universe doesn't stand for a woman with value. It doesn't stand for anything. It's just now they've just devalued this brand that was built over the years. Now, I'm also hearing that allegedly Anne, who dropped out, she only managed this for 1 year. Anne, who said, we only want blonde hair and blue eyes. Allegedly, she has another case, fraud case. And we knew that her company was bankrupt. She just used Miss Universe as a quick cash grab. I don't know how sure it is. I will be following that story, but it's allegedly. This whole thing is a hot mess. So I'm glad that, you know what, Olivia said, I don't need to be part of this. Now we're hearing many stories that are coming out. There are many stories that have been coming out for many queens are opening up. Estonia spoke about how they basically told her that, listen, you stand no chance if you are a mother and you have a child. And she's like, but you guys made this competition open to everybody, married, children and all that. And they say, listen, we don't care about that. Miss Portugal also said the same thing. She's a married woman with children. And they said, listen, we prefer somebody who is unmarried because in Victoria's case, she was married to Miss Universe. So then people are like, then why the hell did you people come with this rule? Miss Guadalupe also spoke out. And she spoke out in defense even of Cote d'Ivoire. And also how, again, you guys collect money, but you're not doing anything. You're collecting money, but you don't want us to win. And you're basically discriminating. You're making it so obvious that you're discriminating. And this is just... That's why I said, listen, now a lot of the women are coming out. They're messing with the wrong bunch. They're messing with the wrong group this year. This year, they said, listen, we're not accepting the bullshit anymore. And y'all cannot be doing us dirty year after year after year. And it stops right here. And I said, you know what? Rochas, y'all thought that you could just get away with it. You just do whatever you want and all that. This, let me tell you something. Your brand is going to be run to the ground. Yeah? Your brand is going to be run to the ground, and it just shows that there's obvious corruption in the organization. Nobody wants to be affiliated with that. Anybody that's sending representation, please, you people can continue. Miss France said they're dropping the license. They're dropping Miss Universe license. I said, I don't blame them. Even this year, Cameroon, somebody won. But they said, we're not sending representatives. Big ups to Cameroon, to Kenya, to South Africa, who dropped their licenses already. They dropped their licenses. They said, listen, we're not going to waste our time and energy on Miss Universe. We see the handwriting on the wall. So this is what has been going on. So yeah, guys, tell me what you think about it. Sorry for this long video, but this video had to be done. Now, Miss International, I want to review Miss Cosmo. Miss Cosmo, I'm definitely going to review it. I'm not sure about Miss International. Miss International and Miss Earth, they're not my favorite competitions. I'm not gonna lie. Because I'm sorry to say this, they are even worse. They have done our African queens worse. I don't even feel that it's even worth my time to even review Miss International. And I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think about this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you. Bye.